In this video, we'll be continuing the stop motion adventure series, and in this video, I'll be building an office, a set for the film, as well as revealing the aeroplane mock that we're going to be using. This is episode 2. I started with a yellow 16 by 16 plate and built up 2 layers of light bluish grey plates before adding some tiles on top. I did this to create these 4 indents, which are each 2 plates deep with tiles at the bottom. The reason I did this is because I'm going to add a table, as you'll see later. This is the table. I made it out of primarily medium nougat masonry bricks with 1x1 bricks on the corners. I ran out of snot bricks, so I used some blue tack to stick them on. In a normal mock, I wouldn't, but because this is a stop motion, I thought I'd forgive the blue tack. I put the table in the ground, exposing the backside of the masonry bricks, which have that wooden paneling. I added the walls using sand green, tan and white strips, and used dark orange shelves to add some trinkets and other items that the adventurers would have brought back from their adventures, including 2 candles. I'm not sure if I'm going to leave the candles in, because I think I'm going to have to animate them in the stop motion animation. I also added a crate and some barrels to add to the cluttered look that I'm going for. I should also add, I'm not going for too much of a cluttered look. I want it to be quite clean, as I don't think the background will be in focus. And I wanted a lot of contrast, using clean lines and minimal texture and detail. Most of the action will be happening on the table, where I will be putting some maps and other items to create a montage of the adventurers planning for their journey. This will likely be the first shot of the film and is an important establishing shot. The lighting will probably look something more like this, as you can see after I've adjusted the lights. Once again, I'm using that wide fill light and then a sort of key light, but I'm dimming it down a bit to make it more realistic for a room with the light coming from overhead, like the interior of a building. I've placed the minifigures, being Johhny Thunder and the Professor, and this is what it looks like. I think one of the shots in the film will be from above, perhaps something like this. We're also going to have a shot from the front, such as this one. I'm placing the maps that I mentioned earlier and the compasses, and these will be used in a montage of them planning the adventure. I think the more maps the merrier, so I've got 3 maps and 3 compasses, and I chose to use the old style pirates maps to better match the 1920s to 30s theme. As you can see, I think it's looking quite good, and I'm happy with how this has turned out. I think this will be a great addition to the film. Let me know anything you think I should change in the comments. Next, we're moving on to the aeroplane I'm going to be including. They're going to be using this to fly to the jungle. Here I'm experimenting with to see if I can position the aeroplane with my fingers, but I don't think that's going to work. Or perhaps I can use these transparent bricks and then hold them at the bottom out of frame. I'm wondering if instead of a stop motion, I can just video the plane like this and use that in the animation. But I don't think my turning of the plane quite matches an actual plane movement, so I think I will have to animate it. I'm going to remove the background using an Ultra key in Premiere Pro. I simply drag it onto the clip, select the color, and this time it is quite handy that I have green backgrounds in all my videos because it makes it easy to remove. I'm gonna put a picture of the sky in behind it and scale it to match the video. The one that I'm editing on screen at the moment is the example clip you're about to see in a minute in this video, using a photo I took of the plane. I'm adjusting the settings to try and get it as good as possible, but I'll put more effort into it in the actual animation. And then I scale it up to remove that darkened area on the right from being too visible, and it is pretty much done. All I have to do now is add a mask to remove the stand and add a zooming animation to the clouds. It's not the best effect and does look a bit unprofessional, so I'll have to work on it more before the final animation. You should also note that Johhny Thunder does not fit in the plane with his hat on, which is another problem I'll have to overcome. If you have any solutions for these, let me know in the comments. But as always, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next week.